Hi, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joybaking.com. Today we're going to make coconut cupcakes. This is a really nice combination of a vanilla cupcake with a tangy cream cheese frosting and shreds of coconut. So we're going to start by making the cupcake batter. So preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 180 degrees Celsius. And then you will need a 12-cup muffin pan. And you can either just lightly butter or spray the cups with a nonstick spray, or I'm using paper liners. And then if you have an electric stand mixer like I do here, you could use the paddle attachment, or you could just use a hand mixer for this. So we're going to start with a half a cup, that's 113 grams of butter. Have that at room temperature. I'm using the unsalted butter here because I like the flavor. And so I'm just going to beat this for maybe a minute, just until it's nice and creamy and smooth. Okay. And just scrape down the sides and the bottom of the bowl as much as you need to make sure that all your ingredients are mixed in. So now what I'm going to do is gradually add 1 cup, that's 200 grams of granulated white sugar. And then once it's all been added to the butter, I'm going to keep beating for maybe 3 minutes. You want the mixture to be really nice and light and fluffy. Okay, so this is what you're looking for. You just want to make sure to get some air into the mixture there, because that will produce a lighter textured cupcake, which is what we want. So now we're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and try to use the pure as better flavor than the artificial ones. And then we're going to add 2 large eggs, have those at room temperature. And I'm going to add them one at a time. Now, if you notice, I have cracked the eggs into a cup first. It's better to do that than to actually crack it onto the side of your bowl, because you don't want any shells in your batter. Okay. So now, for our dry ingredients, in a separate bowl, I have 1.5 cups, that's 195 grams of just white all-purpose flour. You may know that as plain flour. And to that, add 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now, if you use salted butter, I would just leave out the salt. And then, if you like, if you want a little citrus flavor to your cupcakes, I'm just going to add like maybe a teaspoon of grated lemon zest. And make sure you always wash your lemon or lime first, and only grate the yellow outer skin. You don't want that white underneath, because that's quite bitter. Now, if you don't want the citrus flavor, just leave this out. And then I'm just going to, you could sift the ingredients together, or I'm just whisking them. Just want to make sure that that baking powder is mixed into the flour. And then what I'm going to do is add the flour mixture and alternately with a half a cup, that's 120 milliliters of milk. You can use either whole milk or a 2%. Of course, a whole milk will make a richer tasting cupcake. So I'm just going to add about 1/3 of the flour mixture, and then just beat that in. Then I'll add about half of that milk, and then back and forth. The reason you do this rather than adding all the flour at once is that this way you don't over-mix the batter. If you added all this flour at once and tried to mix it in, you'd have to mix it quite a long time. And the more you mix this, you know, it makes a tougher cupcake. Okay, and we're done. It's not too bad. Just gonna make sure all that flour is mixed in. Quick stir. So now we want to evenly divide our batter into our muffin into our paper cups. And so you can use 2 spoons, or if you have an ice cream scoop, that's always a nice handy way to do it. Okay, so now into the oven, about 18, maybe 20 minutes, depending on your oven, or just until a toothpick inserted into the center of one of the cupcakes comes out clean. Okay, our cupcakes are now done. As you can see, they've a nice rise to them, and a toothpick insert in the center will come out clean. So now what we want to do is let these cool completely, and then we will start the frosting. So now we're going to make our cream cheese frosting. First, you will need 4 tablespoons, which is 55 grams of butter, and have that at room temperature. And I'm just going to beat this just until it's nice and creamy and smooth, maybe a minute. Okay. And next we're going to add 4 ounces, which is about 113 grams of cream cheese, and have that again at room temperature so it'll blend nicely in with the butter. And we're just going to beat the 2 of these together just until they're nice and smooth. Okay, simple enough. So now what we're going to add gradually is 2.5 cups, 300 grams of confectioner sugar. You may know that as either powdered or icing. And we're going to add it gradually so that it blends in easily, and we don't want that sugar flying up in our face. And then I'm also going to add just a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract just to give it a little bit of vanilla flavor. So just add a bit of the sugar, beat that in, and then just continue to add more sugar. Okay, make sure you scrape down the sides and the bottom of your bowl. And I forgot to mention, but make sure you sift your powdered sugar because it tends to have lumps and we want a nice smooth frosting. So just sift that first. So now what I'm going to do is just beat this for a couple minutes, 2-3 minutes, just until it's nice and light and fluffy. So on medium, probably medium-high speed. Okay, so at this point, what we're going to do is I just want to check the consistency and always have on hand a little more sugar and a little milk or cream so you can kind of play with it, because if sometimes you need to add a little milk, it's too thick, so you add a little milk, or if it's too thin, you could add some sugar. But this is what you're looking for. It's soft, and we could spread it or we could pipe it. So now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to clean up here and then we'll frost the cupcakes. So now we'll frost our cupcakes. There's a couple ways you could do it. You could put your frosting in a piping bag. This is just a plastic disposable one, and I'm using just a plain round tip. And then you could just pipe. So, and then I'm just going to get rid of that little tip there. And then you can use either sweetened or unsweetened coconut. I'm using unsweetened here because I find there's enough sweetness with the cupcakes and the frosting. And you can use either shredded or flaked. Now, I just bought the unsweetened coconut just in my regular department store or grocery store. If you can't find it there, you can usually find it in specialty food stores or health food stores have it. And then I just kind of put it on a plate and dip it in, or you could just like that, and then you have a cute little cupcake. The other way is just to spread it. Just take a knife or a spatula and spread it on. Much easier way for some people to do it. Okay, and then again, just dip it in your coconut. And then for special occasions, like say Easter, what you can do is you can go to your craft store and find these little colorful pipe cleaners. And then you could wrap the ends in plastic wrap if you want. And then just stick it in, because we're making a little Easter basket here. Or you could have it for a wedding shower or something like that. And then I've got some little Easter eggs here. Kids will love these. And just put it on top. Doesn't that look cute? So there we have it, our coconut cupcakes. So until next time, I'm Stephanie Jaworski of joyofbaking.com.